Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am, of course, Jason, and today I am hosting a great match here tonight for Div D East between Church of Murky and Tri-Hardz. So these guys are pretty much ready to go. They are already in lobby here for game number 1 on Sky Temple. I'm just going to let them know we're ready to go, and should be on our way shortly here. We do have Church of Murky starting off 2-0 on the season after their first week last week, and Tri-Hardz starting off 0-2. So, of course, still early in the season. Hard to tell exactly where any of these teams are going to fall in any sort of power ranking or predictability either way. But I'll be interested to see, how these guys can match up here. Just looking at it from a hero's profile kind of perspective, it kind of looks like Church of Murky has a little bit of an advantage, but you never really know. Those don't always tell the whole scope of what everything looks like. But going right on to Sky Temple, first thing I'm going to be looking for is, rotatability. If you've got globals, you've got things that quickly rotate like a Junkrat, or just in general, good wave clear so you can get your rotation game on a little bit quicker. That could be a really big deal, a really big advantage to get your team ahead here on Sky Temple. And it looks like right now, these guys are trying to figure out something here with the lobby, so it should be just another moment or two. Might as well, while we've got a moment, give a quick shout out to the Patreon. If you guys haven't checked that out, I'll bring up a little blurb for it, but check out the Patreon. So that, of course, is our NGS Patreon. Still very early in the season. Good thing for you guys to try to check out and see what's going on there with all of that good stuff. Looks like we are just about ready to go. See if I can figure out what the issue is here. Alrighty. Looks like they got it resolved, some kind of voice issue there. We'll be going here in just a moment for everybody. Thanks for coming out and watching. Got a nice early match here tonight. And quite a few matches tonight, so we're surely going to be passing this on to somebody after we get going. But speaking of us getting going, here we go into draft number 1, Sky Temple. There we go. So first pick, first ban, gonna go over to Tri-Hardz here. So Church of Murky taking them here. You gotta almost wonder if this is indeed going to be a Murky play. I suppose we shall see. It's not necessarily the worst map for split push. I feel like macro gets a lot of value here, but ultimately, a lot of win conditions end up being forced over the boss here on Sky Temple, which means you do definitely want to make sure that you have some sort of team fighting potential. And yeah, Falstad is going to be the first ban out, so you can kind of see that macro-oriented play, kind of the first thing that they want to prioritize denying over on the side of Tri-Hardz. But if you can get somebody that does a little bit of both, of good team fighting capabilities and good macro-orientated play, that somebody that's really good at camps, somebody that's excellent at wave clear, somebody with a global like a Falstad, or all three like Falstad, really, could be very difficult to deal with. But we'll see the Johanna band out here from Church of Murky. So that could indicate a couple of things. Johanna, of course, very popular and very strong in the current meta for tanks, but also with the blinds, she definitely denies a lot of extra auto attack damage to those kind of heroes, so they might be looking for something more AA oriented in their comp. You see the Anubarak band out on the other side, and again, just a really, really good tank in this meta. You think Anubarak, Johanna, Diablo, etc. Those are kind of the dominant ones right now. And then there's just kind of a break between them and a lot of the other tanks. But Jaina going to be the ban out here for Church of Murky. It's worth noting that a lot of times these teams will begin scouting, will be able to use those tools like a hero's profile to be able to see if anybody's got a really good hero on the other side that they play quite a lot. So it definitely comes to mind when we see a Jaina ban, but she's pretty decent in the current meta. And there it is, the Dahaka. So we kind of talked about the false stat a little bit. The Dahaka gives you a lot of the same things, that global ability. They're really, really well placed bushes across all the map for his brush stock.
Reckoning is at hand.
And that's somebody I think we're going to see a lot more of as well as Greymane right now. He is a monster. How's it going, Tootie? Welcome. And Zago, hello as well. That's a lot of emotes, my friend. It's like a pretty cool dragon, actually. Let's check those out. Either way, Greymane, who's kind of had a little bit of a resurgence, got a nice boost in the last patch. So not at all surprised to see him coming out nice and early. The Tyrael is pretty interesting. Synonymous with a lot of stranger kinds of comps, but we'll see if it goes in that direction later on. I don't want to spoil anything too early. We do have Gul'dan and Muradin coming out on the other side. So good poke and wave clear. Muradin, of course, good sustainability, and just with his trait, just the ability to step out for a moment on these shrine fights and be able to come back in shortly to try and contest a temple. Very, very strong here on this map, and again, you kind of look at specific hero denials. That kind of comes to mind when I think of somebody like a Deckard. Though he does have good wombo setup ability with his Stay a While. And Orphea going to be banned out on the other side, so with Tri-Hardz having already gotten their Gul'dan, going to try and put a little bit of a chokehold there on that mage position.
Let the Inquisition commence!
And there is Whitemane and Imperious. Very interesting. Very strong front line now between the Tyrael and the Imperious. Good dive ability, especially with the Greymane to follow up. And Whitemane, good burst healing potential on the Whitemane. She just really allows your team to live for that first 5 to 10 seconds of a fight. Gives you that nice boost of an advantage. So if your team has the ability to step out and reset, they can be pretty good against her.
None shall
But it's a little bit easier now with the Maiev and her ability to make a little bit of room. But Kael'thas gonna finish it up for Church of Murky. So pretty standard comps all around. No heroes really out of left field. Nothing too strange. I like Tri-Hard's ability to engage and try to isolate heroes. And of course, Church of Murky just kind of, in general, pretty strong point control potential. I kind of like that on this map, where you can have a lot of focus on a single point and take a fight in an area like on these shrines, and especially over the boss fight. Holy Ground could end up becoming a factor for Tyrael post 13, but either way, I'm very interested to see how this shakes out. Yeah, it's going to be a Kael'thas for the dude. Alright, so game number 1 here on Sky Temple. Let's take a look over to the left. We have Church of Murky. We've got B. Gully going to be playing the white main. The Dude going to be on Kael'thas. We've got Orion playing the gray main. Redbeard on Imperius. And Shock is going to be playing the Tyrael. And while on the right, we've got Tri-Hardz. Duck Roger is going to be on the Gul'dan. We've got Tesseract playing the Maiev. Tuna Breath going to be on the Muradin. Riven on the Dahaka. And we've got John Byron going to be on the Rhaegar. So right away it looks like it's just Redbeard here trying to get the... kind of taking a look at the vision. Still kind of hanging around in the area. Tuna Breath going to come in along with Riven and chase him off for now. In the mid, a little bit of an engagement here. No Kel'Thuzad. I'm sorry, Zago. We're going to have to wait later to see that kind of interesting pick, I think. These teams just feeling each other out here a little bit, I think, in game 1. Going a little bit standard. But I like this early camp priority here from Greymane. He is ready to go, man. I'm not going to waste a single second having to rotate to that puppy. Speaking of puppies, got Rhaegar quickly on the rotation to bottom, and Tri-Hardz going to go ahead and look to maybe prioritize the soak here in bot, but they're also on the camp as well. Now Shock is actually going to scout this out. Does have the ability to dive in here if he really wants to, but it's like the rest of the team's going to rotate away, and I love this call. Nice and early. Orion going to go up to the top lane, get started here. Greymane can easily do this with the help of the white mane. It's going to get them some nice pressure up in the top lane. That early macro pressure from Church of Murky really going to set themselves apart in that kind of play style here. I feel like at this level of the game, you don't see that kind of big camp priority while still maintaining soak pretty decently. And a whole lot of these Div D teams. I really like their macro play here early. They're gonna shove in. You see even Shock throwing out the extra shielding for the wave there, getting all of the value out of this Tyrael pick. They push in top here, and this is a massive wave, a ton of siege damage. They're not soaking the mid lane, but they're getting so much value here in top that I don't think that's really relevant. They're also pulling a lot of attention. They've got a 4-man rotation from Tri-Hardz. They're trying to push this wave out. They've got their own camp, but you can see just how much later that was really affecting things. Shock going to be pulled back there by the tether. Tesseract not quite able to find any purchase off of that tether. All 5 members now up in the top lane for Tri-Hardz. Meanwhile, Redbeard is ready to go on this mid-shrine. And Tesseract actually going to rotate and tap first. That's what Tesseract was going for. Up in the top lane, big team fight going on here. As the poke back and forth has begun. Nice dig there by Riven, able to burrow there to dodge a lot of the damage coming in from Orion. Still a decent amount of damage coming out overall, though, while it's a 1v1 on the shrine in the mid lane as they go back and forth. So action all over the place. Worth noting that this camp up at the top lane for Tri-Hardz is also getting quite a lot of value. And we are going to see Church of Murky backing off and cleaning that up, retap. They could maybe try to re-engage here. But it looks like instead they're going to prioritize going to mid. Tesseract getting awfully low. Gonna have to walk away as the rest of Church of Murky makes it on in here. So some good damage to both top lanes for each team. Meanwhile, the side of Church of Murky getting a little bit of advantage off of the mid lane shots. They get the well and a little bit of damage out of the fort. And look at O'Brien just instantly down here. right onto that siege. About a third of a level lead here now for Tri-Hardz, so a little bit of an advantage, but we're going to see a lot of that XP come back as Redbeard's soaking up here in the top lane. It looks like Riven going to make his way on up. Meanwhile, down here, again, just a little bit quicker on the camp is Church of Murky. So they have the option to either try and push a little further into the lane or rotate elsewhere. They are going to get a little bit of a quick rotation up to the mid. And Shock is going to go ahead and come up and grab himself the vision. Meanwhile, Redbeard is pushing in here with a wave. It's a nice spear onto Riven. The tongue in response, but as the fort goes down, it's going to put Redbeard in a good position overall, but here comes the rotation. I take it back, he's not in a good position. He is in a very rough position. But making him waste all the time, which is going to allow Church of Murky a free rotation onto this bottom fort. And they're going to get a nice amount of damage out. Again, utilizing that Greymane and Kel'Thas siege damage paired with Tyrael and his ability to kind of help support the wave lasting a little bit longer. I love that combo. They're using it perfectly here. The first fort of the game is going to go over to Church of Murky. There's still about a half-level lead right now for Tri-Hardz. They're definitely winning in the soak game. They do also have the one and only kill so far this game. Meanwhile, Shrine activating in the bot. Riven going to go ahead and finish off the top fort of Church of Murky. So now structure's even. The shots are going to go over to Church of Murky for the moment. But level 10s are here. There's going to be Avatar. Oh, wait a minute. They are going in deep here. And there is the Warden's Cage that I was about to announce out. And the Horrified just a tad late. Not quite able to find it there. But now they've got 3 ultimates down. Isolation, Warden's Cage, and that Horrifier all down. And level 10 is going to be in here very quickly for Church of Murky. And there it is. They can lock these in and should be able to go in with a massive ult economy advantage. We'll have a lot of damage coming out early. Not quite finding that cursed bullet from the Greymane. Spear comes down from Imperius, trying to lock somebody down, but it's just chaos in here. And looks like for right now it's going over the way of Tri-Hardz, but multiple members low on both sides. The Pyroblast going to finish off Gul'dan. Murky goes down as well. And O'Brien's just running around this thing. Gonna push Tri-Hardz out, and Church of Murky. Oh, they also find the Haka on the back end. I didn't even see that he was still trapped in there.
My temple's power.
A nice 3-for-0 exchange for Church of Murky. They could be looking for boss here, but instead it looks like they're gonna just go ahead and take the fort. And I really like that. This is a lot of what you're gonna get out of the boss directly anyway. So, you know, you're going to get a little bit of extra siege damage from it. And instead they're just going to play it safe. No need to throw here at level 11. Nice early quick camp grab here from Tri-Hardz. You see the similar kind of rotation from both squads here. Just kind of using their downtime, hitting the camps, keeping an eye on bots for the most part. And we see, you know, Tri-Hardz going on the boss here. They're aware that multiple members had to be up in that top lane, had to be getting that boss. Level 13 not here yet, so no Holy Ground available either. So it's a good opportunity for them to go ahead and grab this. And they're going to have it before this gets snuffed out here by Church of Murky, so a bit of an aggressive play. The Warden's Cage, I don't know, maybe warranted, maybe not. It's an interesting call. I don't hate it because, of course, you know if they're coming, it's gonna zone them away. But he's just saying God mode, you know, the God mode view up here, where we're just looking down on everybody and judging. Either way, Imperious up in the top lane now, sporting a giant wave. Multiple catapults in this entire camp. Gonna have Redbeard going directly on to the temple. Meanwhile, Boss is gonna be finished off here by Church of Murky in the bot lane, and a quick rotation from Tri-Hardz to get the bottom temple. Cena Breath waiting and ready. The living ward, if you will, and here comes Church of Murky. So forts going down on both sides, shots going out pretty evenly as this trade continues. But this is a 4v4, so it's a good opportunity for Church of Murky to try and get a little bit of a leg up here. But look at the damage on the backside. The silence goes out there from that isolation. Brilliant from Riven. Big Horrify as well. Gray main goes down. White main goes down. And Kel'Thas. So 3 for nothing. Just like that, big advantage now for Tri-Hardz. They've got about half a level. They get the rest of those shots completed. And they're going to be pushing in the bot lane here. They still have a few seconds of domain on the map, but nothing really to do other than try and push a lane. Meanwhile, look at it's an angel party back here. Redbeard looking in, but now these two angels are all by themselves back here. But this is a 3v5, essentially, down here in the bot lane. Nice grab there from Redbeard. The troops have arrived, and they're going to find Gul'dan caught out. And they're still on the chase here. This is a pretty difficult team to run away from. This is a long way home to safety for Tri-Hardz. As they continue going on up, trying to find somebody out. But it looks like the rest of Tri-Hardz are going to make it out unscathed as they make their way on up. Still, that's definitely going to give a chance for them to invade, steal this camp down here, give them a little bit of breathing room. But overall, pretty good matchup so far. I think the biggest difference in this game has been Church of Murky having just a little bit faster macro rotations. A lot of the time, the boss being probably that one big exception in case of Tri-Hardz. Tri-Hardz, meanwhile, doing pretty well in the team fighting game, but the kill count's pretty even, 4-4. Seems like Church of Murky's got some better pick-off potential, and they've been utilizing that pretty well to kind of keep it even. But the team fights have been going the way of Tri-Hardz. We'll have to see if any of that changes as the game goes along. Camp pushing in the top lane for Tri-Hardz, and they've got a pretty good wave there as well. Well, it looks like both squads are just going to be satisfied in trading out temples for now. Let's take a look. This is shooting bottom lane for Tri-Hardz. Going to get some good damage on this keep. Might be able to secure it. It's going to be close. Mid lane, kind of similar, but a little bit less shots left here as it's chewing its way through the well now. Greymane up in the top lane clearing. And both teams just content to stay their ground here. So a few more shots. It's going to be incredibly close. Get a few more lasers, and then the barrage should be enough. Yeah, there it is. An extra shot or two left. And first keep of the game goes over to Tri-Hardz. Level 16 is now coming in for both squads. That's going to be grabbed over here for Church of Murky. And both teams just very content to play the map right now. Neither one looking for any kind of team fighting. Lots to do, lots to soak. And look at this. Here comes the boss attempt here. This is indeed holy ground, but you can utilize that to try and zone off the boss. It's pretty much a guaranteed boss. Though Horrify could of course be a factor on the other side to try and at least keep him off that. But the tug, oof, White Mane goes down. The tug into that boss stun. And Shock looks like he was going to attempt. They got pulled in there from the Warden's cage, and the invasion is good for Tri-Hardz. They're going to find themselves a 4-for-nothing exchange. Just like that, it is boss and possibly the game here, as this bottom keep has been opened up, and I would say probably game, actually. Top wave not going to be enough to even threaten to finish this game nearly fast enough. And just like that, Tri-Hardz taking game number 1 here on Sky Temple. Very nice comeback. So it was pretty even throughout all the game. It seemed like Church of Murky maybe had a little bit of an extra edge on the start of the game, but quickly taken near the end here for Tri-Hardz. A big turn for them. Let's take a look at our match summary. So 4-4 until that final team fight. Not a whole lot of overall team fighting or hero damage done on either side, because just kind of a standard back and forth macro heavy game until the end. But yeah, it really comes down to big damage. Big ultimates there from Tri-Hardz on that last fight, and a lot of times that's what it comes down to. We kind of saw Tri-Hardz doing a little bit better in the team fighting throughout the early game, getting that nice triple kill earlier in the game to even out a lot of the kill count and the XP, give them a little bit of an advantage there, and there it is. Why am I being pinged? What's happening? I'm confused. Alright, well, either way, as we will set up here for game number 2. Why should people ping me in Discord? I'm confused. Well, anyway, see how these guys are getting on towards game number 2 here. What's my favorite hero? Probably Li Ming. I feel like she's the most fun to play. Unfortunately, she's kind of not in a very good place right now in the meta, but that's alright. I still enjoy it. But I've switched to main support now, so I've been playing a lot of, the standard supports, the Ana, Anduin, Tyrande, Rhaegar, all those. I'd say my favorite support to play though is probably Brightwing. She's pretty fun. Oh. Ghost Discord sounds. Yeah. Somebody was messaging me. I have it. I thought I had it set to make it not do that. Disable streamer mode. Oh, maybe I didn't have it enabled. Alright, well. Quick, somebody send me a message. See if it pings. Should be fixed now. Murda was sending me a new possible logo thing. I would show it to you guys, but it's a little too late. Now we got the game being set up. Maybe I can fit it in. Let's see. Let's see. Logo. Where's OBS? Add an image. Where is it? There it is. We'll just pretend this guy is my co-caster. You guys can give me some feedback on it. Boom, there he is. Yeah? Maybe? Alright, 2 of these windows open. How strange. Like we're getting the lobby set up. We got people slowly filing their way on in here. Now there's a delay, so I shall wait for opinions. And nobody's pinged me. That's too bad. I'll never know if the phantom sounds have stopped. So what do you guys think of the logo that Murda made for me? Be honest, you can take it. So next battle, or next, I should say next game, gonna be on Battlefield of Eternity. And here we go into Battlefield of Eternity. Game number 2. Tri-Hardz looking to close this out with a clean sweep. It does look a little bit like me, that's for sure. That's based off my my old picture that I use for the logo of most of my stuff, like my profile picture here on Twitch. That old ABBA hat picture. I should wear the ABBA hat more. Alright, so first ban, back to the Johanna, Church of Murky. Staying kind of firm on not wanting to see that come out here for Tri-Hardz. And the Greymane. So I like that call from Tri-Hardz. Greymane definitely has been a force that you don't really want to go up against. And he's especially strong on this map. Definitely first pick material with his extra race potential. And I mean, that extra boost to his attack power only gonna increase his race ability. Thrall on the other side, that's a pretty interesting ban. Thrall, definitely one of the higher burn potential bruisers for this map. Also has a pretty decent poke. And now we've got a Nubarak coming out here for the side of Tri-Hardz.
I stand ready.
Alright, Vala coming out as the first pick now for the side of Church of Murky. As the Nubarak banned out once again, so a couple adjustments in the first ban phase, which I like. But still, those better tanks just thrown out the window. The Vala's a pretty interesting early pick. She got some pretty nice buffs coming out, so I'll be interested to see how she functions better. And Tootie calling for the Kel'Thuzad. Is Kel'Thuzad good on this map? I feel like his burn isn't very good. He could probably defend pretty well. I can only imagine how much chaos you could cause by hitting a good chain combo into one of the boss stuns. Meanwhile, Orphea going to be the next pickup. So double backline already being shown here for Church of Murky. They'll get themselves Diablo for their main tank. And I really like Diablo on this map. His burn isn't very great, but there's just terrain all over the place in the middle of this map. Very easy for him to be able to charge things and get into the walls and get those stuns. Artanis on the other side picked up nice and early as well. So quite a lot of race potential already coming out on that side. Muradin, with that sledgehammer build, can be pretty good in the race department as well.
Detected.
Got a follow coming in. And what is happening with my alerts? I don't have my alerts on, apparently. Sorry about that, guys. Let me fix that here. I'll try that again. Night Knight, thank you very much for the follow. See if we can't get that playing. Well, if it spams it a bunch of times, I apologize. But either way, Night Knight, thank you very much for the follow. Getting close to that 500 mark, so I'm hoping to hit that sometime by the end of the season. We shall see. Meanwhile, Jaina and Ana banned out. Pretty common bans. We saw Jaina banned out last game as well by Church of Murky. But here comes the Hanzo and the Tyrande. Ha! No throw pit on this map. That is for sure. That's definitely true. I mean, you could make an argument over the Immortals themselves being their own kind of throw pit, but just massive race potential now for Tri-Hardz. Arthas going to be coming out, and then the support will be Malfurion. So good sustained potential here for Church of Murky. They have pretty decent poke, but also pretty good CC and engage potential. So if they find one of these backliners caught out a little bit, they should be able to capitalize and deal quite a lot of damage for them. One last pick for Tri-Hardz.
Unbridled energy.
I'm expecting a backline damage dealer, but the Kerrigan, very interesting. Good I'm going to give them some good opportunities to try and get to the squishy backline. Malfurion, Orphea, and Vala. They're going to have to get through a pretty beefy front line, but if they can manage to get around Diablo and Arthas here, they've got pretty good damage potential. Church of Murky, you're going to have to be careful in the early game. Diablo doesn't really hit his power spikes until later in the game when he's got more of his souls and more of these talents to really take advantage of those souls. Huh. Tootie being the trendsetter, making the mouth popular. Alright, I can respect it. I myself am not a huge Malfurion fan, but I liked the rework before this last one, personally, but I think a lot of people did. That's probably why they changed it. Anyway, let's get on into game number 2 here on Battlefield of Eternity. We've got Shock going to be playing the Diablo. The Dude going to be on the Orphea. Orion spamming the taunt button here on the Vala, showing off that juicy taunt there. B. Gully going to be playing the Malfurion. And up top, we've got Redbeard on the Arthas. Meanwhile, for the side of Tri-Hardz, we've got Tesseract. And he is going to be playing the Hanzo. We've got Tuna Breath on the Muradin. We've got John Byron going to be on the Tyrande. With Duck Rogers on the Kerrigan. And we've got Riven playing the Artanis. Both teams going to respect the customary 4-1 rotation here to start this one off. A nice scatter arrow to start off the damage and the poke potential, but Tesseract gets charged into the wall for his efforts. And he's stepping up right now because he's trying to get that redemption going. Level 1 talent. Try and get those basic attacks in to get that extra attack speed. It's going to make him a bit of a target, but right now it's Tri-Hardz that's a little bit more frontline heavy, so it should give Hanzo a pretty decent room to operate throughout this match. He's going to have to carry hard, though, if he's going to see any real good results here. Meanwhile, we do see the arrow build coming out, started here from Vala. Monster Hunter is the one you would expect for sure, though. The other two talents here before 10 that can go either way, but if you're going pure race, of course, we're probably going to see repeating arrow at 7 and the damage rating at 4. The quest talent for Q. I forget the name of it, but both teams just kind of poking back and forth. Not really getting too much going down here. Up in the top lane, though, Redbeard taking some heavy damage. Riven at about half health, but that's kind of where Artanis thrives once he gets to that halfway point on health and starts getting that extra shielding. Kind of where he wants to be. Both teams keeping their eyes on the camps, making sure there's no funny business going on down there. Well, Redbeard just being patient up here. Both teams going to rotate on up to their camp. Quickly look to grab those. They actually are even rotating down the Artanis to help a little bit. And I like that call, you know. His wave was pushed in. Gets back before even one of those minions falls, so no soak lost there for Riven. Camp's going to be grabbed pretty much around the same time. Bit of an advantage here for the side of Tri-Hardz with the spawn. They've only got to go just a little ways here to get started and start their burn race potential here. Church of Murky could look to defend here, or they can rotate up to start the burn. It looks like they are going to look to burn. Meanwhile, down here, camp's going to be cleared out really quickly, and both teams going to start relatively around the same time. Maybe a little bit of an advantage here. The Church of Murky. They do back off a little bit, though, with Riven showing. Riven, though, is quite a lot of their race potential, and it's going to come out pretty even. Slight advantage to the side of Tri-Hardz. And I think Tri-Hardz definitely owns the greater race potential. We go on into the way up high view. See the race unfold. A little bit of stun on the left side, but ultimately it is Tri-Hardz that's going to have the faster race potential and take on the first Immortal here in the bot lane. Solo laners return to their duties up top, and Tri-Hardz going to look to try and push in with their Immortal. Not much of a shield here, of course, and it's, you know, still pretty early, so this Immortal not going to get a whole lot of value. Hits the ground almost instantly. chunking that top tower pretty nicely, though. Meanwhile, look out, Muradin tossed over. He does have Dwarf Toss to get out, though. Will utilize that combo from Kerrigan. Gonna catch just Shock. They gotta look out. Those stun circles come down and catch a few members. As Shock trying to find Tesseract. He's so close. Run, Hanzo, run! Whew. Gets away. And the kill count will remain 0-0. Meanwhile, we will see a little bit of a skirmish here. Looks like Shock gonna charge on in, but look how low Tuna Breath is. They're gonna have to back out of here quick. Combo does come down from Chuck Rogers, and he's gonna kind of sacrifice himself there. First blood as Kerrigan just gets pitched right off the side of the battlefield. Camp will go over to Church of Murky. Good patient play by them. Shock got in just in time to be able to make sure they had an opportunity to tap on that. Lunar Flare just barely missing Orion there. Nice juke. Root coming out, gonna kind of stifle Tri-Hard's ability to try and turn anything there. Kerrigan is back on the field, but looks like she's gonna decide to go on up top here for Duck Roger. Maybe not. Maybe yes. Maybe yes. Maybe going up to get the camp up top. Yep, there it is. Already one finish off here, so be a little bit faster, but they are going to give the advantage in the race potential here to Church of Murky. Maybe just a little. Maybe not, actually. The three biggest burn members, well, three of the bigger burn members, I should say, are here. So, doesn't look like Muradin went with the burn build. He's going pure tank build, so it's actually going to come out pretty even. Little tiny advantage here to Church of Murky, as it's not going to do the full flip. It looks like right now Church of Murky looking to defend rather than attack. Not going to find the stuns there for Tuna Breath. No swap either as they get shoved back. Nice defense by Church of Murky. It's going to even out quite a lot of the damage there. In fact, we're just 5 off now. A 5 health lead for Tri-Hardz. It's a nice healthy lead, if you will. Arrows not finding their way through. And they're going to try and poke this out a little bit. Extend that lead just a bit. Stuns coming down onto Redbeard. Combo not quite finding its mark, though. Being pulled through that wall. Ribbon getting low. He's going to be the first to fall. Over on the side of Tri-Hardz. Like Tuna Breath is going to go down, too. Very patient, very well-coordinated assault there from Church of Murky. That's 5 team members staying in very tight range of each other. Not splitting off, not chasing. They got the objective they wanted, and now they're going to take advantage of that. Camp is going to be started, though, for Tri-Hardz, so they're looking to get a little bit of counter pressure. The level 10s are now coming in for Church of Murky, so they're going to have 10 as they make this push. Tri-Hardz will have 10 for the defense, however, by the time this gets here. And they are still sending Artanis down here, so this is going to be a 4v5 with Riven having free reign in the bot lane. But here comes Syndragosa trying to aid the push here. That should pretty much guarantee that they're going to have enough push to be able to get themselves the fort here at the very least. And there is the stun. He was looking for somebody caught out in front. Lightning Breath to follow. The root is good. The CC even trying to throw off Twilight Dream to make sure he got it. And they did end up getting it. And look at Redbeard down here. He threw out that Syndragosa and then immediately marched to bot, where now he's got Riven caught in this cold aura, slowing him down, but he will make it back far enough to get to the forts. Kind of pressure him back there. Duck Roger maybe looking for some kind of combo, but thinks better of it for now. The Immortal is pretty low health at this point. Tuna Breath can use that Dwarf Toss to escape the crushing jaws.
Simple geometry.
And there it is. Half of the keep health goes down. The entire front wall obviously down. So very nice push for Church of Murky. Meanwhile, still got a lot of soak in the bot lane. About a half-level lead now, as they'll continually get that extra passive XP from that top fort, along with the first of the occasional catapults, I believe, coming out on the next one. Or no, there it is. There's the first occasional catapult. I take it back. Oh, Arrow, meanwhile, on the bottom side. Wait a minute. Tesseract coming in from long range, trying to get some poke, but ultimately they're not going to dive in on that for now. They remember what happened the last time. I don't want to see that happen again. You know, Riven having free reign down here while it's a 5-man push. Cindergosa is up here. Redbeard could decide to throw that down, and there it is. The Cindergosa coming down again. They see Artanis up in that top lane. They make it a 1-for-1 exchange to start. Crushing Jaws not quite finding what he was looking for with that, but they do still have the shutdown. They're going to even rotate down Riven to make this a proper 4v4 defense, trying to keep their fort up. It was Arthas that fell on the other side, so no additional front line. Yeah, it's you're right. It's the periodic catapults. I like occasional. Sounds less official. It's just an occasional catapult. And there's the second one.
Before my wrath, demon.
It's 1 in 3. We all know it. You know, both sides gonna go ahead and just burn.
Our battle cannot remain here.
A little bit more of a lead this time for Church of Murky coming out of halftime. We see the halftime show coming down. And this one is a true swap. And we see now each team kind of assuming their defensive stances here. Level 13 coming in soon for Tri-Hardz. And Artanis is actually going to go down to defend and try and get it. And as soon as that happens, you see Church of Murky start to push in here. Going to be putting down the damage. Gets a nice burn on it. Bottom lane is cleared and 13 is grabbed as now Artanis is going to be coming back up, but a lot of damage done to that Immortal, and they continue the poke here. Redbeard kind of looking at an angle like he might be looking for that Cindergosa. Could try and slow down the members, but you kind of don't want to take this fight on the Immortal if you don't have to, on the enemy Immortal I should say. Just kind of trying to throw poke damage at it. I think that's the right call. Continue. Just kind of throw that poke between the Orphea and the Vala. They've got good poke potential. There's the charge. Crushing Jaws again, not finding anybody. But we do see quite a lot of damage coming in on both sides. Redbeard getting very low. There's the Emerald Dream right in the middle of all that. O'Brien gonna finish off the Immortal. Gotta pay with his life, however, as it is a 1-for-1, but the dude in there so far gets to Rhonda there with that big jump. Riven now coming in on the backside, but now he is all alone. Shock finds him, actually kind of swaps himself back in. Bigbeard gonna finish him off. And just like that, it's a 3-for-1 exchange. Immortal going over to Church of Murky. We've got some good pressure in top as well, and Murden going to go up to try and answer to that. They want to make sure they don't lose this keep up here while the bottom keep is being threatened. And they do still have Cindergosa, and there it is. Redbeard going to throw it down instantly. It's going to make it all the way back to the core. Though the core is currently invulnerable, no keeps down on either side. The front wall is going to go down, and this keep still shut down from that Cindergosa as they start hitting it. The wave has come in. The wave's going to get a lot of extra damage on it as well. And there it goes. Keep is now turned back on just in time for it to start getting slapped down to half health. Nice root back on to John Byron. Or Bunyan. John Bunyan. There we go. I knew I'd get it right eventually. The keep does go down. Tri-Hardz now down to just one keep, and it's looking pretty rough as well. Meanwhile, Camp going to be grabbed pretty much instantly there. Tri-Hard's going to make sure to grab this up before an invade can occur. While the members of Church of Murky rotating up to the top lane. And Scout does go by there. Sentinel not finding anyone, but they'll get on it right after. Yeah, I don't know if Syndra was too early there. I would say it was pretty well timed. No, Syndra Ghost, as far as I know, does not deactivate core. Even if it could, it wouldn't have done it there, just because it was invulnerable, but I'm pretty sure it's only the Garden Terror that does that to the core. But here's another Syndra Ghost. That thing's up already. And look at the damage coming out on the Riven. Youchies. Church of Murky. Just hitting the go button there. Level 16 coming in now for Tri-Hardz as they look to get the re-engagement on the backside. Trying to push Church of Murky out of here. Big combo coming in, but it's Arthas that ends up falling here. But they get the turnaround onto the Kerrigan. So just like that, it's a 4v3 as they're still trying to poke in to this fort. For now, they're actually going to back off. They're going to give them a little room and go get themselves the objective. They don't have Arthas, but they've got all of that burn coming in from Vala, and that just Hungering Arrow build just destroying this thing.
I must find another way.
Still about a level lead right now for Church of Murky as they're gonna be looking to get this pretty much uncontested at this point. Everybody is up for Tri-Hardz, but they're in a bit of disarray here as they're trying to clean up the lanes, and they're just not going to be here fast enough to try to contest this. And just like that, it's a full shield Immortal going to be going to the top lane, and this keep is not going to offer much resistance. Right now, if you're Tri-Hardz, you kind of have to try to find yourselves a fight behind this thing, or finding a fight here in the middle of the lane is about as good as you're going to get. Two-man combo coming out here from Duck Rogers to get the start of the route. Zoning them back, though, but it's Vala going to be falling down. Look at the flanking Syndragosa coming in from Arthas, but he goes down as he's casting that. Shock trying to turn around and get the lightning breath, but it's a 3-for-0 exchange. But I don't know, this Immortal walking in with nearly full shields, gonna go directly onto the core, gonna start chunking this thing out. Members of Tri-Hardz are back here, clean it up though, and they are tearing through this thing. Not a whole lot that Church of Murky can do about this. Gonna get 20, no, make it 34% damage onto it. But that's Tri-Hardz still in the game. They're hanging in there. You know, I was with Zago there. I was saying, well, that looks like GG to me, but they were able to get the team fight they needed. Now they've got the path to level 20. It's actually going to be kind of hard for Church of Murky to get a whole lot of soak in this situation. What is this mount? Wait a minute. What? I missed it. Oh, well, maybe next time. It's like a golden star mount. Either way, as these waves kind of push in. Oh, wait a minute. They're looking at Riven here. Oh, Big Beard almost finds him, but look the charge! Oh, Shock! It's the QEQ. Pushes him back, and uh-oh. Oof! Artanis! Ooh, you hate to see it. As my good friend Murda would say. And now it's going to be a 4v5 defense. I don't know if 1's enough, but that 2 is enough. They get the Hanzo. And now it's going to be incredibly difficult for Tri-Hardz to keep this game going. Got Ultralisk running around here, but it gets blown up pretty quickly. Lightning Breath turning around, and ouch. Level 20 now in. Shock gonna do the QEQ dance onto Muradin. He's got the Dwarf Toss to get away, but now the shields are being chipped down. 20 seconds until Artanis is back. going to blow up Murden as well, and that is going to be it. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 2. Going to go to Church of Murky here on Battlefield of Eternity. We are going to game number 3. All right. Yeah, pretty solid game overall from Church of Murky. You know, maybe a little bit of a misstep there, allowing that team fight after they got that full shield immortal. But definitely, you know, overall, very well played. Kill count kind of tells the tale of the game for sure. Orphea fielding a lot of damage. Didn't get the crushing jaws. I think the dude wanted throughout that match. Was one thing I noticed, but definitely had quite a bit of damage anyway. Vala, of course, just a massive amount of siege, tearing apart those immortals. And oops, let's get over to the match summary screen, shall we? That looks a little nicer. Yeah. Give you guys a look at these talents, see what these guys were building throughout the game. Very damage-heavy Arthas build. Free to do that with the Diablo on the team, of course. Lightning Breath was felt like it was pretty effective in most of those team fights for Shock. Kind of denying some of the CC potential of Tri-Hardz while he's just throwing out a lot of extra damage. And yeah, pretty good game. Felt like I felt like the CC could have been maybe lined up a little bit better on the side of Tri-Hardz. They definitely did catch some members out a few times, but in terms of like big AoE team fighting, they just didn't quite. I think they just didn't quite find what they were looking for. And a lot of times they had Artanis split, especially when that Cindergosa would go down. It's really good sieging tool, but it also gives a lot of slows, a lot of chase potential. You're right, Zago. I think Apocalypse is still pretty good, but I think most of the time Apocalypse is something good to pair with something else that leads. You know, and Cindergosa could be something that you throw out in that situation. You put down Cindergosa, and as soon as you see it's tracking on somebody, and it's giving, you know, that massive slow, 4 seconds, 60% slow. You throw down the APOC, maybe gives you an easy combo to go with it. But it also, you know, again, it really denies all of that CC. You know, Muradin, Tyrande, Hanzo, Kerrigan, they all are trying to stun him, but he's just sitting there unstoppable, just throwing out the lightning breath, getting a lot of damage. So either way, there's my rank, ladies and gentlemen. Now you all know. I'm a gold 1. Let's get on into game 3, shall we? Looks like these guys are still setting it up. And it's been a pretty back and forth series overall. I feel like, you know, game number 1 kind of even until the end there. Game number 2 kind of Church of Murky just kind of chipping away at it throughout the game. I loved their macro play. You know, it's like every time Cindergosa's up, they would just throw that thing down, then they just run it down their throats while the structures were down, I should say. So overall, just pretty happy to see, especially, you know, in Div D, that macro play still coming through. You know, that's a lot of time and energy and practice that teams get to a point where they're on that coordination level, and just have that kind of game plan ready to throw out. So it's nice to see. Yeah, Breath is pretty good against those divers. Yeah, for sure. And here we go. Looks like we're going to Tomb of the Spider Queen here for game number 3. It's one of my favorite maps. Very rotation heavy. Gotta have a really high priority here on the wave clear. I mainly, wave clear for sake of the map objective more than just the lanes. Wave clear is the way that you get the map objective, those rotations, getting those gems, but when those web waivers come out and you got a big wave behind it, you can't have something like a Li Ming. You have to have big, beefy wave clear, big AoE wave clear, like what a Kael'thas or a Gul'dan, heroes like that really give to you. And really give you a big leg up. Not to mention in the rotation game, having the quicker rotate from mid to top, and the quicker wave clear can give you an advantage in getting turn-ins and pressure on those rotations. Riven saying, "Don't ban Gazlo, please." That's an interesting one. Just put a bunch of turrets in around the turn-in locations. What's my favorite level 20 talent? That would be Wintermute. It's just so fun to watch when you have water elemental up and you hit Icy Veins. And so you got the lower cooldowns, and you and the water elemental are just spamming Jaina abilities like crazy. It's really fun. you can blow up pretty much anybody instantly with that combo. And I make no secret of it, even though I have changed over to main support. I've always had a lot more fun playing assassin. I like both roles, and I think I might actually be a little bit better at support myself than damage, but I definitely have a lot more fun being the main ranged carry. It's killing people, It's fun. But either way, going back to Tomb of the Spider Queen, another thing you definitely want to think about on this map is boss control. The map objective itself isn't very strong. If you're gonna win solely off the back of a Spider Queen turn-in, it's gonna have to be very late in the game, and you basically have to have at least 2, if not all 3, keeps down. Most teams win the game off of a full 5-man team wipe, or maybe 3 or 4, later in the game. Or getting the boss and pushing in with it to win. So when you're trying to open up win conditions on this map, you have to make sure that the enemy team can't just shut you out of a boss fight. Something like a Gust or Holy Ground, or I think you have to have something to combat that. I think that's why Gul'dan is such a good hero here. Not only has he got the good wave clear, the good poke and the denial for for the wave clear and for the turn-ins, but he's also got Horrify for that boss pit. It's really strong. All right, well there we go. We got Duck Rogers in, and it looks like we are ready to go. We are going to Tomb of the Spider Queen. That is where we are going. The hint was that I've been talking about nothing but Tomb of the Spider Queen mechanics for the last few minutes. Yeah, I apologize that I haven't set up my my awesome Venus map thing yet. See, that's not there. It's not ready to go yet. So I'll have to get that set up with the new map system, with the new map scope and everything. But I got that going for my next cast on Friday. Meanwhile, let's get on in here for game number 3. Get hyped. Who's gonna take the win? So much salt coming in from Zago. It's quite a lot. Yeah, there is 100% a definite throw pit on this map. No doubt about that. But again, going right to the Johanna ban. She, you know, for how effective she is on every map, this is definitely one of the maps she shines the most in that rotation game. You know, it's throw down a condemn and then look to zone as your team just cleans up the waves. Orphea on the other side, so Tri-Hardz not wanting to see that come out a second time. It was a lot of damage, I'll tell you that much. Diablo going to be banned out. Very interesting ban here. As I felt like they were using Diablo pretty effectively, but you gotta wonder now what they are wanting to run that is going to be hard countered by Diablo that they don't want to see that for. And Tootie still calling for that Kel'Thuzad. It's an interesting one for sure. Nubarak going to be banned out once again, so they're hating on the tanks. I guess we'll see which one ends up coming out of all of this mess. So it's going to be the Garrosh, which is pretty interesting because I think Diablo is countered pretty hard by Garrosh, but definitely something new coming in from Church of Murky that we haven't seen in the other 2 series. So I'll be very interested to see what they want to combo with that Garrosh for follow up. We saw the Malfurion, which can be a pretty good addition to it. Meanwhile, ETC coming out on the other side, so Tri-Hardz wanted to make sure they get that tank before the next chokehold comes out, or the next ban phase for that potential chokehold comes out, I should say. Yeah, with Orphea banned, he must. I don't know, they can still go down, he can still Kel'Thas.
Victory for the Forsaken.
Or he could just, well no, that's Orion going with the Sylvanas, so the dude could still be going Kel'Thuzad, yeah. Could be a thing. Meanwhile, Stukov going to be picked up here for Church of Murky. Silence could be thrown down here after a Garrosh toss. At 13, you could even try and combo it with your Pustule. Try and pop that into the root. Sylvanas, pretty good burn damage. Try and follow the whole thing up. Last ban for Church of Murky. And they will deny the Gul'dan. I like that call. He's very, very good on this map. Good follow-up to the ETC slide. Thrall probably in the solo lane, but could still be in the 4-man for Tri-Hardz. So that root, just more follow-up. Even so, gonna still apply later in the game. So we're gonna see the Jaina and the Deckard coming out. So we saw the Deckard ban earlier in the series from Church of Murky. So this is not a support they wanted to see on the other side. It's also pretty good denial to the Garrosh, especially along with the Jaina. Any kind of slow really makes it difficult for him to get in to get a combo, and there it is. Tunimos is going to be so happy. Kel'Thuzad comes out. Orion actually kind of bearing the lead. There is a 30-second delay, you know. You gotta wait for that delay to come out before you spoil something. But either way, Imperious coming out now. And we will see one last pick here. They could go with a front line. They could go with a backline damage dealer. They can go with something in between. They're going to go to the Rainer. So that should put Thrall in the solo against Imperious. And these 4-mans, both pretty good amount of wave clear. I would definitely say there's an advantage to Tri-Hardz. But you do like to see the Rainer comboed with the Jaina. That's quite a lot of damage. And we'll see how the Kel'Thuzad works out. Fans want it. You asked for it, and the dude is gonna give it to you. Yeah, Kel'Thuzad being your main wave clear. It's not. I would say it's not ideal, but it's not terrible. You know, Sylvanas has pretty decent wave clear as well, especially with her ability to either take the extra explode damage at 4, or more popularly, the possession. Could be pretty good. But either way, let's get on into game number 3. Church of Murky on the left. We've got Shock playing the Garrosh, the dude. Gonna be on the Kel'Thuzad. Orion gonna be playing Sylvanas. B. Gully is gonna be on the Stukov. And Redbeard gonna be playing the Imperious. Meanwhile, on the right, we've got Tri-Hardz. John Byron, or John Bunyan. Every time, man. He's gonna be playing Jaina. Tesseract gonna be on the Rainer. Duck Roger on the ETC. We've got Tuna Breath playing that Deckard Cain. And we've got Riven playing the Thrall. And right away, throwing out the sprays in the mid. You'll love to see it. Combo thrown out. Spear as well on the Duck Rogers. He's able to make it out. Find his way to some healing potions. Thrall going to get started on the wave clear down here. But Redbeard makes it just in time for those first couple of minions to fall. While rotation is on from both squads here. A little bit quicker on the draw is Tri-Hardz to start. And you expect that with the Jaina. He's just got such monster wave clear. Chain not going to find its mark, but Tesseract gets tossed out and gets the healing potion at the last second to stay alive. Oh, it was so close. For now, first blood going to be avoided. Teams continue to rotate. And this is the rough part of this map for Tri-Hardz. They kind of want to stay away, for the most part, from the Kel'Thuzad. You don't want to fight into it, but you also, you don't want to let them have free reign on the rotation. You don't want to let them have free access to the turn-in location. So it's kind of a catch-22. How are you going to try to run this? But so far, pretty good. They've only allowed 1 stack for the dude here in the first couple minutes, which is not bad at all, really. Not bad at all, I should say, for Tri-Hardz. They're doing a nice job of really denying. I really see the dude show up, but it's like, nope. There you go, there's a few more stacks, and this time Jaina gets blown up, and that's first blood. As Tesseract trying to respond, trying to get some poke damage out, but ultimately Shock is able to make it away. He's Garrosh, so he's pretty hard to kill overall. And there's the shotgun coming in. Tesseract's going to deny that turn in for now. But 12 have been turned in now for the side of Church of Murky. Big Beard got his in. Duck Rogers getting tossed in. Still just the 5 stacks right now for the dude. Meanwhile, on the other side, again, you kind of hate to see it for Tri-Hardz because they want to be able to help John Bunyan stack up that Frostbite quest for Jaina, but still just 344 damage out of the 15,000 that's needed to unlock that ice block. They're doing a pretty decent job on their loads so far, though. 7 and 9 on those quests, respectively.
You can't stop me.
Meanwhile, Slide comes out onto Sylve. Not finding much damage on Orion there. Chain also not finding a second target. Meanwhile, Riven, very close, actually is done. First part of Echo of Element there. Chain does find a mark, though. No follow-up for now on that route. The toss is good. And Duck Rogers' Q is down. They get the slow. And he's going to go down. Second kill going over to Church of Murky. It's a nice toss follow-up there. But meanwhile, turn-ins have been going on for Tri-Hardz. Managed to get 37, and they're getting close to having enough, but they've been dropping a few gems here and there. So ultimately they don't have enough for turn-in just yet. Meanwhile, Big Beard and the Dude gonna spike in just enough to get their turn. Wait a minute! No, they do get it. I was like, wait a minute. No, that didn't go in, but no, it was Orion up top. Both were blue team members still turning in there. Wave crashing up in the top lane. Church of Murky going to rotate out to grab that. Still pretty much the same level. Slight lead for Church of Murky because of those kills, but overall it's still very close on the level advantage here. Another chain being hit. 11 stacks now for the Dude. That's Church of Murky marching their way on in. Chain goes down, and that is a max level. And Shock actually throwing Tesseract out there, and he has nowhere to go with 4 members up here. And this is life against a Garrosh in the early game. I'm telling you, it's so difficult to play against this hero, especially when you got Kel'Thuzad chains pulling people every which way. Level 7 now, and that spike, the glacial spike, coming out now. Just another threat that the Dude has.
Bring me their power.
Well, they are going to be looking for some more gems turned in. Camp getting started for Tri-Hardz as they need just 13 in, but again, they've been getting picked off here and there. Been dropping some gems. While Church of Murky getting very close to having enough gems for another turn-in. Ton of damage coming down onto Duck Rogers. He is just getting poked down this game. Very difficult for him to be able to get in to really do much. The enemy team does not get gems from a converted Spider-Man. They just don't get those, and it drops the gem immediately after you possess it. You still have to go pick it up, as far as I know, but yeah, those are just converted spider minions that they don't give gems. Meanwhile, turn-in here now for Tri-Hardz. Both teams getting pretty close to level 10, but it's going to be Church of Murky getting there just a hair faster. But Tri-Hardz should have it here before we even see the Web Weavers coming down. So pretty standard. Angelic Armaments, Massive Shove, Shadow Fisher along with the Wailing Arrow, but Garrosh is still holding. Could this be Decimate? You would expect a taunt. On the other side, this is indeed going to be the Stay a While and Listen and Ring combo. Hyperion and Mosh on top of that, and the Earthquake. So big AoE ults. Wombo potential coming out, and it is taunt coming out now for Garrosh. The Glacial Spike combo hits, and the toss actually takes him out of the Shadow Fisher, but doesn't even matter. ETC gets blown up behind the wall. Oh man, poor ETC, and that's 4 for nothing now on the kill count for Church of Murky. However, they are suffering a little bit in the wave clear department as they're trying to clean these up. They get top cleared with minimal damage. Mid taking a little bit of damage. Redbeard took care of bot, so A little bit of damage, but definitely say Church of Murky got the better of that exchange for their first turn-ins. And now they have almost enough for another turn-in. Shock actually trying to get it, but good zoning and goaltending here from Tri-Hardz. Tri-Hardz. There's a Z at the end of that. Meanwhile, Shock looking for it, trying to find a combo, find somebody else. Glacial Spike, max range, hits Tesseract, the toss to follow, and that is just a nasty combo. Meanwhile, Stay a While and Ring coming out, along with the Mosh Pit. Mosh Pit gets interrupted though, and right now it's only 2 members of Tri-Hardz that have gone down in this battle. Shock, still staying alive there. He is Garrosh. I like that toss onto Beagle. He's trying to find anything he can to slow down Riven, but Blue Webweaver is going to be coming out. And it's now 6-0 on the kill count in favor of Church of Murky. Tesseract trying to get some wave clear on the other side here as the Hyperion comes down. The dude trying to find something there with that chain, but worth noting that it does clear out the wave, but in comes the Webweaver behind it. I'll be able to blow that up over on the side of Tri-Hardz. But meanwhile, rotation to the bottom now for Church of Murky. Not the priority lane, but it is the lane that had more health, so I'm going to be able to tear this apart a little bit better. Actually, not even bothering shutting down the fort here, so they need to maybe looking to push on either to the bottom keep or to the mid fort with that. I'm gonna go ahead and take this down again. Not even bothering with the black arrow for Sylv there. Meanwhile, bottom has a massive wave here. Shadowfisher does come out, but Chain doesn't find anybody through the gate there. It is going to be the shutdown there on the front wall. So they don't want to overstay their welcome here. They are going to get the front wall in the bottom lane, or most of it anyway. They have managed to keep that that one cannon tower up just barely. It's got some exposed gears though. Either way, 3 forts go down. And it's looking like more of the same from game number 2 as Church of Murky kind of in control right now. And apparently no, it's still streamer mode. Really not doing it for me right now. Apologize for all those extra beeps. I know I don't like that when I'm watching something and I constantly hear somebody else's Discord going off and looking up like, wait a minute, was that my ping? Try and get that fixed as soon as possible. What can I say? I get a lot of messages as the headcaster. I apologize. I apologize. Either way, level 14 to 13 here, so Tri-Hardz does have the same talent here if they want to look to try and engage on this. But turn-in will be completed for Church of Murky. Thrall in the bot lane, so probably didn't want to push the issue too much there. Looks like for now, Church of Murky going to look for the top lane pressure. Should have Black Arrow ready for this keep front wall. And there it is, shut down, tossed in instantly on these both these cannon towers. The focus is on the bot cannon tower for now, but the defense is here for Tri-Hardz. Level 16, still full level away, so this is a pretty even fight overall. And Chain just barely being stopped there by that gate. Duck Rogers out pretty far here. Gonna maybe get tossed. Yeah, there it is. They do toss him back. They collapse on him. Oof. Ouch. The rest of Tri-Hardz rotating away to try and protect these keeps in either lane. And now we're going to see Church of Murky able to rotate in with the shutdown once again activated. Gonna get some nice damage out onto this. The 4-man is still here for the defense. Shadowfish, just kind of a blind Shadowfisher there, only finding one hit on the ribbon, but that's easily healed up. Meanwhile, Chain not quite finding the mark there. Spike maybe a little bit too late coming out, or it just barely missed. Either way, they managed to defend the top keep. Oof! Less than 700 health. That's awful close. Wow, sharking around up here there are the members of Tri-Hardz. They're not 16 yet. I don't really want to force into this, but they are trying to zone to try and get a turn in here, nonetheless. Kind of just kind of throwing out everything there as Church of Murky. They do find the turn in though, over on the side of Tri-Hardz, and they'll be able to get 16 pretty shortly. So it's a pretty good moment for Tri-Hardz. They're trying to make some kind of rally here late in this game. Oh, but again, look out, Duck Rogers gonna have to slide away to safety. The full 5-man of Church of Murky gonna go ahead and go up to the top lane and look to clear things out here. By the way, 26 stacks, so still even to this point, almost 15 minutes in, not fully stacked on that Kel'Thuzad quest. There hasn't been a ton of team fighting. It's a lot of pickoffs for Church of Murky. They're getting 1 or 2 kills at a time, giving them pretty good advantage throughout the map, but this is the moment for Tri-Hardz. They got a massive wave here in the mid. Bottom's starting to push out. And look at the Hyperion, the flanking Hyperion from Tesseract here. Nice angle. Though Ribbon gets hit with the combo, he is able to make it out safely. That was awful close. Earthquake on the backside, but he shoves him into the corner. Nice interrupt there from the Wailing Arrow onto that mosh pit. Big damage coming in from the armaments as well as Redbeard diving in, and they are getting kills off of this. It is a 2 for nothing as they push him back. Bottom 4 taking a lot of damage, but they're just fine with how this is working out. And unfortunately, that toss went on to B-Gully. He doesn't really want to be in there. And so bottom fort will be grabbed along with the mid fort, but on the other side, Church of Murky going to go in and be able to secure this boss pretty easily. Automatically will march up that top lane and take out the top keep for him. Neither team anywhere near enough for a turn in at this point. But meanwhile, that top lane's starting to stack up. Redbeard's got to be careful, though. He's pretty low in the situation. 5 seconds until he's got his ult up. He will back up and wait for his team. The dude almost finding that chain. Just barely. That's a bit outside to hit the wall. And Armaments is going to come out as Redbeard. Taking a lot of damage. Boss will march on right by and just 2-shot the keep. As they march on, they are looking to try and see if they can make this into a win condition with the side of Church of Murky. They get the toss and the combo damage along with a big root. They're going to take out Thrall instantly. Shock able to make it out with barely any health here. Hyperion trying to zone him. Whoops. Yeah, back down onto the course. Nice percentage. They got it almost to 50% here, so it looks like they are going to full commit to it. Trying to find it. Ring only going to find the Stukov as Redbeard is on the back end, still trying to damage this. Meanwhile, Tesseract getting a ton of healing back there, but it's Jaina that falls. And with all 5 members still up, they swarm the core, and Church of Murky able to just barely get that core down. Win game number 3 here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. What a finish here. Very nice game coming out from both of these squads. And unfortunately, there is the 0 error. You hate to see it. And normally I would do an interview with these guys, but unfortunately I am a little bit strapped for time right now. I have got to go. But I want to thank everybody for coming out. Congratulations. Let's give Church of Murky their second point here before we go. But congratulations to Church of Murky. And I got to give a lot of credit to Tri-Hardz. They played very well throughout the series. Very exciting match. Very back and forth. But Church of Murky comes out on top. Pretty much in control of that whole game. And kind of just in the back half of the series in general, playing very well in both games 2 and 3, and you love to see it. Now, I got a couple quick shout outs I want to do before we go, though. I'm going to give one more shout out to our Patreon. Please make sure to go check that out. Of course, we got the little blurb for it. We've got a lot of really cool Patreon rewards, guys. If you haven't checked those out, they're constantly updating it. And even then, just the player card is worth it for me. I love getting those every season. But also make sure to check out the NGS YouTube channel. We're uploading as many of the matches as we can to that and sorting them all for you guys so you can check them out sorted by division in those playlists. And don't forget to follow here for more Nexus Gaming Series action. I'm regularly casting matches, and I'm also hosting other people that are casting matches. And we're actually going to throw it over to Murda, who's casting, looks like a B East Division match between Regen Phoenix and Minion Miners. So I hope you guys will enjoy that. And until then, I am Jay Zahn, and for the Nexus Gaming Series, we'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.